My name is Stephen Davis. I am the Executive Director and founder of Academics Without Borders.
My name is Karl Strobbe. I'm a family doctor. I'm the Regional Assistant Dean for McMaster's Niagara Medical Campus, and I operate a project in Nepal for Academics Without Borders.
The gap that we fill is that we have found out that a lot of developing countries lack the experts and professionals that they need for their development and are not capable of doing the research necessary for the development. And those people have to be educated at universities. So we're helping them build capacity at their institutions so the countries can have the experts and professionals and do the research for development. We wait until the institutions in the developing world contact us to tell us that they need this or this or this. We then ask them to fill out a project proposal which specifies the needs that they have, the activities they wish to engage in, which us to engage in. They also specify the kind of volunteer that they wish to have and the contribution that they're going to make towards the expenses of the project. It's extremely important for us to have stakeholders involved in it and to have the institutions be the originators and the drivers of the changes that take place. They're the leaders, we're there to help. But what's important for us is that these institutions take the responsibility themselves for the changes in their country. It's their country after all. They want their country to develop. They want to improve the lives of their citizens, the education of their young people. And I think that what we have to do is put that at the forefront. Countries differ one from another. We have no idea of the complexities that occur in these countries. They know better than we do what those complexities are, what their capacities are, what their needs are. So that's the kind of thing that we're looking for.
My own personal philosophy in development in global health is that projects can only be sustainable if my role is helping other people achieve their goals. And so to the extent that I can help, I'm able to assist, but ultimately this is their work, their project, and I provide what assistance I can. And that's why we're aligned very well in terms of what I do and Academics Without Borders, a very similar philosophy. Certainly. So in terms of support for projects, Academics Without Borders provides invaluable support, not just in terms of financially supporting travel, but in terms of putting in place a framework for planning. So ensuring that there's deliverables, that it's clear why people are going, how long they're going to be there, who's responsible for what. A report is submitted at the end to allow for continual improvement of the project, and all of our safety concerns are dealt with, so in terms of immunizations and visas and all that sort of thing, along with evacuation insurance, and that's not a small thing, and Academics Without Borders is actually very active in getting people out of dangerous situations in countries that they find themselves in. So the overall framework and project support is invaluable. Beyond that, the value to me in terms of engaging in the work all comes from the time spent on the ground and creating relationships with colleagues in developing countries. And sharing ideas, coming up with joint projects that we can do together. At the end of the day, together we can do a lot more than either of us can by ourselves. So the notion of actually going in and doing something in another country really requires their involvement, and I come out the richer. And all of my project experience and also those that I work with have found exactly the same thing. It's not a trite saying that we gain more than we contribute. Every minute is worthwhile. I could make the case for doing this from a completely selfish viewpoint, that the time and the money and everything else that I invest in this is well worthwhile and helps to provide professional and personal development that one cannot get anywhere else.
Let me just add to the last point that Karl made. One of the things that we have found out discussing this kind of activity is that people tell us it has improved them professionally in their teaching and the way that they do their research. And I think that's very important. It's not just that they become, quote unquote, better people or that it's life-changing, but professionally it makes a difference to them. And in turn, it makes a difference to their institutions. So now, one of the things that we should think about is that what they're doing is an extension of what they do in their home institutions. They're just helping colleagues that happen to be in another country. And they're their colleagues, after all. That's one of the motivations that I have. These are my colleagues in another country. I would help a colleague across Canada. I help a colleague in Liberia.